Hello everyone. As we know, the 2024 regular season has just finished up over the weekend, and so we know the final ladder and the finals. And at the start of the year, I made a 2024 ladder prediction, and I know for an absolute fact that I have three absolute doozies here, which you guys definitely spray me about. But honestly, let's just get into it. React to what I thought was going to happen at the start of the year. Now, bear in mind, this is obviously based off the 2023 form going into 2024. Please just don't crucify me too much.
Basically.
Here we are. Let's go. Let's start. I know the first one sucks.
I do have the Bulldogs. I just think, when you look at their squad overall...
Okay. Now, obviously, this one sucks. Congratulations, doggies. You have made the finals. Would you finish 6th overall, I think? Yeah, this was not great. Let's just hear what I had to say. Not a good start.
The forward pack, there's issues there, to be honest. Like, the only recognised really front rower is Max King. Obviously, Liam
Again,
Nasser
not wrong.
as well. You've got was it Ryan Sutton, that sort of thing. But look, if there's an injury in that forward pack, there's trouble being spelt there. The depth just isn't great.
Now, not exactly the worst points, but to be fair, the doggies just in general have been just a lot better than we would have thought. I think I might have just given you a sneak peek there to who was next, but yeah, doggies have been great. Cameron Serrato, Coach of the Year. Let's move on to
Chevy Stewart, who hasn't played any NRL games. Xavier Savage, who
they were in the
at all last year.
The Raiders. This is not good. This is not good. So they were in the hunt for the finals. Up until the last round. Literally, if the last game was a draw, the Raiders make the finals. Again, I think I was talking about inexperienced spine and that sort of thing. They're probably going to struggle a bit more next year because they're losing a lot of experience. Who knows? But Raiders and Ricky Stewart, he's always just got him there or thereabouts.
Years and years already. Now, in 15th is where I have the Dragons. They could be on for the spoon. A lot of people are predicting them for the wooden spoon, but I just think Shane Flanagan will have them a bit more short up defensively and have a bit more go about them this season. Like, they lost 5 games in a row by a combined 8 points last season. Under Shane Flanagan, they probably almost win those, and then that's the difference between coming second last and nearly making a run for the finals, to be honest. And as Shane Flanagan said,
well, at least I got that run for the finals bit right. We're 0 for 3, and we've so far got 6th, 9th or 10th, and 11th. Interesting. Although, to be fair, a lot of people had the Dragons for the spoon at the start of the year, so at least I was closer than most people. There's just a lot of waffle here about the Dragons. Let's move on. Oh, no.
I'll give them that. The outside backs need a bit of help.
Yeah.
But I just want to... I don't know. Benji, first-time coach, is going to be interesting to see how he plays, how he can handle being a head coach full-time. And you've also got new halves combination. You've got 4 blokes there that are still vying for that halves spot, with Lua coming in 2025. So,
yeah, look, that's probably been one of the Tigers' biggest issues all year. Is just they've swapped and changed halves all the time, no continuity. The Tigers, 14th. I mean, they did get their 3rd wooden spoon in a row, and it's funny for the Tigers fans because you say to them like, you obviously improved on last year, but they go, but we won the spoon again. So how did we? But you won more games than you did last year, and you can see the signs that things are on the improve for the Tigers. But yeah. Cool. 0 for 4.
You've got a lot of things to worry about there, and how it's all going to gel.
Oh, no.
But it all rides on Turbo. If Turbo gets
I suck. Why does anyone listen to what I have to say?
Stuff. But yeah, there's a couple little different things with Manly that I'm a little bit worried about. Again, if there's injuries to the forwards, their depth isn't fantastic. How's Luke Brooks going to go? I mean,
good, actually.
A stack of outside backs, but
they do.
They're converting Brad Parker into a second rower.
And he retired.
Go, so... But even then, you've still got that Raymond Viega coming through, so he's pretty good. You brought in Tommy Talau and Jackson Paulo, so we'll see how they go.
Tommy Talau, so improved.
It depends where Ruben Garrick plays out of those two who comes in. And
anyway, that's a lot of waffle. Manly 13th, another terrible call. They've finished 7th. Honestly, they probably could have finished in the top 4 if they hadn't have bottled that game against the Tigers. But yeah, again, so that's 2 finals teams that I've predicted in the bottom 4, bottom 5 now. Yeah, pretty good start from me, which means we're going to get a lot of other ones wrong. Let's move on a little bit here.
24. I mean, it's just
Okay, 12th Warriors. What did they actually come? I'm pretty sure they came like 13th. I got this one right, pretty much. Let's go. What did I say?
So much travel, so they usually are used to it, but last year was the first year they've done it in ages. Is there going to be a bit of hangover and fatigue for
yes,
this
there
season?
is.
And as well, can SJ do it again? I think he's like 32 now. His body's slowing down. He has been having some injury issues and stuff as well. So
this guy knows his stuff.
SJ really uphold that and have like another Dally M-esque season. But like RTS is there, so hopefully we'll take off a bit of the load off him in terms of just like being the star in that side. But it'd be interesting to see how he gels with this team as well. But yeah, the Warriors for me, like I said it last year and I'll say it again, like if they can win 80-90% of their home games and like 50% of their away games, they make the finals. That's just this, like, literally, that's all they've got to do, all they've got to focus on. So,
again, I couldn't agree more with what this guy says. Obviously knows his stuff. The Warriors last year, they maybe lost 2 games at home all year. This year, they lost heaps. They just weren't as formidable away from home. At home. And this is the thing. It's like, if they win most of the games at home, they make the finals. Just, it is what it is. Going to New Zealand, very, very, very tough away day. A lot more teams were up for it this year. Sort of saw the way that the Warriors played, and planned for it, and the Warriors weren't able to have a plan B. And then obviously SJ just wasn't at his best this year, and that is what it is. Finished off his career amazingly, but yeah, he did end up obviously retiring this year. All right, so there's one we sort of got right.
11th.
Okay.
Which, like, I'd love to see this team make the finals this season, and that is the Dolphins. They've really bolstered their squad in key areas. They've brought in Herbie Farmer. They've brought in Tom Flegler. They do still have an aging forward pack, but Flegler comes in and like youth and experience.
Tommy Flegler.
And he's really, really good. So that's handy for them. And like the thing with those 2 signings as well is that they've like weakened the Broncos, their big brother. So that's really helpful as well. They brought in Jake Averillo, so like they're really bolstering the outside backs, which was a weak point in their squad from last season. I don't really have any other question marks around the Dolphins squad apart from I feel like Christian Wolf will have a bigger say on the team this season.
Okay, so the Dolphins obviously were thereabouts this year. Started again, same as last year. They're in the top 4 for a fair amount of the year, and then they just like dropped off after Origin. Tommy Flegler having that injury, which I feel so sorry for him. Like that injury, it honestly could be the end of his career, unfortunately for him. We also got Tommy Gilbert was out, which I don't think he was when I made this video. Like they got pumped with injuries and suspensions throughout the middle of the year. The Dolphins again, but yeah, unfortunately they missed out. They came 9th, so it was closer with this one, but still, again, just
which will be interesting to see how they
awful
play.
predictions.
Like,
who's 10th?
Is it with Brad Arthur and
Well, at least they had a miss in the finals. Jeez, the Eels were bad this year, weren't they? Okay, what did this guy say?
Just his tactics and what he's saying. Like, I think come round 1, they'll have 2 hookers. They'll have one on the bench, one starting.
Oh, this is the whole Brendan Hands.
Like in today's day and age of the speed
Joey
of the
Lussick
game,
thing.
him saying he wants an 80-minute hooker.
This didn't last long.
Holes in their squad for a couple of years now, and they haven't been rectified. And I sort of think, oh well, what he is doing. Unfortunately, one of my bold predictions for this season is that Brad Arthur doesn't survive the year as Parramatta Eels coach. I think it's just sort of like he brought them up from like the bottom, from the absolute sticks of the NRL.
Anyway, all right. Brad Arthur did get sacked. Probably the worst thing the Eels could have done. That and letting go of Reid Marnie probably going to be the 2 worst decisions this franchise ever made, because the players they don't look like they're going to buy into Jason Riles. A lot of them want to leave. The Eels 10th would have been a good season for them for how they finished. Second last. I don't think anyone predicted that for the Eels and the strength of their squad. Who did I have coming 9th? Oh, here's the second
bold prediction.
Absolute shocker.
The Storm missed the top 8 for the first time ever, apart from the salary cap year.
What are you doing?
They brought in Sean Bloor to bolster their form.
The Storm in 9th. One thing we never, ever, ever do is write off the Storm. This is the first and last time I'll ever make this mistake. They got the minor premiership and have been the best team by a long shot. Actually, I want to listen. There's something I say in here.
But there's still
I know for sure.
Light on forwards.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced about Jerome Hughes just as a standalone 7 without Cameron Smith there directing the team. Can Pappy stay fit?
No, doesn't matter though.
Far longer play.
Fullback.
What happens if one of the outside backs goes down now that
Grant Anderson comes in and kills it?
Respectfully,
Like, Oh, man. So basically what I'm saying here is the Storm have no depth, and they won't be able to, like, if there's injuries, they won't be able to manage. They lost Cameron Munster for most of the year, Brian Pappenhausen for half the year. They, like, Nelson Solomon started the year in reserve grade. Oh, anyway, that is a blunder from me. Give me all the shit you want. That's not good enough. Anyway, what was my top 8?
Who missed out that I think will be stacked to not make the
Cowboys,
finals.
8th.
Lola,
They come
hopefully
5th.
with a fire in his belly. Come good. He's got to drink water. Could be on for a Dally M season.
No.
Reece Robson will be looking to improve himself. I don't know whether Chad Townsend plays halfback. That is just a question mark. I don't think it's a massive concern for them because you've got guys like Thomas Duffy and Jake Clifford.
Tom Duffy's a fucking bold shout. Pretty rogue.
Yeah, bringing in Ruben Cotter and Tommy Didden as captains, I think it's a good call.
It is.
Just the Tigers, they'll just bounce back. They had a bit of a just down year last year. Like, they just got flogged in their pre-season. They had to do 2 massive army camps in a row. I don't think they did one of those this year, so hopefully the boys are fresher and just ready to go in 2024.
Obviously, they have made the finals of the Cowboys. Home final in Townsville against the Knights, which, like, it's a tough place for the Knights to go. But Cowboys, they're just defensively, like, how did they finish 5th? Can we talk about that for a second? Like, I didn't like seeing that. Like, they can score tries for days, but they just cannot defend for the life of them. I don't know how much the Cowboys do in the finals. I don't think much, but based off this ladder prediction, Cowboys now go on the comp because I said that.
A little bit.
Anyway.
But I've got the Gold Coast Titans.
Yuck, dude.
I think Des Hasler will get the best out of that squad for sure. I'm really excited about to see how AJ Brimson and Jaden Campbell play together in tandem a little bit there. I think AJ Brimson's going to float a little bit more, which I think is just really exciting.
Here's the thing with the Titans, right? Des Hasler probably did get the best out of that squad for the second half of the year. There was a stat there run for a while. It was like, if the comp was since Origin, Titans will win the comp. Now, they got some pretty good scalps, beat a lot of teams that weren't expected to beat. They were 0-6 to start the year, I believe, and then they beat the Warriors in New Zealand. To start, if they had have won 3 or 4 of those games, that's put them instead for probably a push to the finals, and they probably are in 7th spot. Next year is a big year for the Titans. Get Tino back, all that sort of good stuff. Yeah, Titans in 7th. Not the worst shout, but as we've seen, they finished 13th or something like that. Wasn't great. 6th, Sharkies.
They probably could be higher just because their regular, draw in the regular season is so soft. But here's the thing. The Sharks seem to be, just using the definition of insanity at the moment. Just trying the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. They need just to bolster the squad. I guess they've got Fanua Blake coming in 2025, but nothing seems different from last season. Okay, Matt Moylan's gone and Braden Trindle's in, but sort of happening last year anyway, towards the back end of the year. I don't know. They could come out and prove me wrong, but I still don't see them winning the finals game.
That's who they are.
Yeah, look, Sharkies will be thereabouts again, just because they've got a good squad and they draw so easy. But yeah,
that's a pretty fair point. They're 4th again. Do they beat Melbourne in Melbourne this weekend? Probably not. Can they win a finals game this year? We'll have to wait and see. But again, the Sharks just sort of do what the Sharks do under Craig Fitzgibbon. It will be interesting next year how they go with Adam Fanua Blake.
Newcastle Knights. Fit and ready to go. Said he wants to get back in the Origin arena, which means he's going to kill it for the Knights to begin the season. And all the boys just look...
Kalen Ponga looking fit and ready to go, and he's out for half the year. Cool. This is definitely going off a bit of the old buying into they were 9 in a row to end the season last year. They're going to get on the back of that momentum. Yeah, Knights were interesting for the first half of the year.
All buying into what they want to do. They got a taste of what they can do last season, and I reckon they're really, really going to try and hit their straps this year.
I feel like that might help them in the finals this year, though.
A home final in Newey, very, very tough.
They're not going to get that.
They could cause some upsets and some disruptions
in
the competition this year. Take off some big scalps. They've got so much belief in themselves and their own playing group, which
this is another tip. How the hell did the Knights make the finals? They didn't decide on their halves pairing until 4 weeks ago, and it's Tyson Gamble and Jack Cogger. Sorry, Phineas Crossland even. I don't know, man. The Knights are an anomaly. They made the finals 4 of the last 5 years. Can you believe that? All right. Who did I have top 4? There's a big team here who had an awful year that hasn't been said yet. I think I had them in 4th.
4 big teams here. In 4th, I have the Roosters. Now, we say it every single
Damn it, they came 3rd. I almost got one right.
year that they've got a really, really good squad, but the last couple of years have underperformed. And I think it's just been a bit of hiccups and teething issues, adjusting to life under Sam Walker as their
Agree.
halfback. Like, they've
Yes.
just had Cooper Cronk
Yes.
come in, win on some comps, and then they haven't really clicked and gelled since then. And then they brought in Brendan Smith again last year. And I just think it all starts to fall into place this year. I think James Tedesco really finds his best form. I think
this guy knows his
Sammy
stuff.
Walker comes back and plays some really good footy. Had a bit of second season syndrome to start of the year last year. Had a disrupted season. I think he's back, ready to go. Prove people wrong. Brendan Smith is used to living in Sydney now, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Used to the systems he's got in place now.
Unfortunately, those two players have done their ACL and aren't going to be in the final series, but the Roosters just have so much quality across the park. Like, have a look at this gentleman with just right underneath me right here has been probably the best player in the comp nearly. A lot of the players have just sort of stood out this year and played some pretty good footy. The Roosters probably a little bit of a dark horse now in the finals without those kind of players, like without Sam Walker and Brendan Smith. Who knows, man? They probably could go on a tear and upset a couple of teams, but we'll have to wait and see. Who did I have 3rd? I feel like
They were Sydney Rabbitohs. Now, we can't forget that halfway through the season last year, they were winning the comp and looked red hot. Looked like they could be the team to take down Penrith.
Oh dear.
And then look, some off-field issues happened.
They didn't get resolved.
And we might never know that. We might find out what exactly happened in later years, but look, that's done. And I think that's the attitude the Rabbitohs are having. That's in the past. Let's move towards 2024. Latrell's come back looking fit as.
Dear.
The fittest I've seen Latrell in.
All right, let's move on. Rabbitohs sucked this year. Rabbitohs might be a little bit better next year under Wayne. Hopefully, Latrell gets his stuff sorted out. But yeah, that's a pretty bad call from me. So is this one.
Another year. They've obviously lost Herbie Farnworth and Tommy Flegler, so their squad
and they'll miss him massively
as last season. But you still got like Reece Walsh at the back, Ezra Mam only getting better, Adam Reynolds still directing the boys around. You've also got Payne Haas, Paddy Carrigan. Their team is still so stacked. So
on paper,
Tony Staggs in the centres, which is just awesome.
The Broncos, look, at the start of the year, this wasn't the worst shout. The Broncos were 15 minutes away from winning the first grand final since 2006. They barely had any adjustments or changes to their roster and everything. They looked poised to go on a massive run again this year, and they just were so underwhelming, weren't they? There's absolutely no reason why the Broncos should have missed out in the finals this year, and they did. I feel like there's massive things going on behind closed doors at that club, and they need fixing for next year. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a pass for this one because the Broncos were meant to actually achieve some pretty good things this year, and they sucked. Which obviously, let's go on to who had minor premiers. Because, let's see what the Broncos
The team's just
better.
so stacked. Even though they've lost Stephen Crichton and also Spencer Leniu, they've brought in other guys. They've got guys just waiting in the wings. Their nursery is ridiculous. Still got Nathan Cleary there, who's turning 26 or 27 this year, I believe. His best footy's still not even yet to come. Still got Dylan Edwards there. Still got Brian To'o, Jerome Luai's there for this season. Still, Fisher Harris and Leota up front. Isaiah Yeo locking the scrum. Liam Martin on one edge. It's ridiculous. Tungo, Taruva. Their squad's so good, man. And they know how to win now. They're a bunch of winners. I think the minor premiership's theirs for the taking.
Nope.
And look, we could be staring on the barrel of 4 in a row. So there's my ladder.
Still agree with that. Honestly, the Panthers, man, they probably they just had so many injuries this year. Jerome Luai played halfback for most of the year. They have had a bit of an up and down year. They haven't looked as strong as they have in other seasons. So, potentially, they'd miss out in that 4 in a row this year. Nathan Cleary back in the finals will be interesting to see. But even against the Titans on the weekend, they looked pretty rubbish. So, they're going to need to click things into gear very, very quickly. What did they get? A grand total of 0 out of 17, right? That's hectic. So, yeah, spray me in the comments. Tell me that I'm dumb for putting the doggies at Wooden Spoon, the Storm outside the top 8, and the Bunnies and Broncos at the top 4, who both missed out in the finals. That's always good. But if you did enjoy it, like and subscribe. More footy content coming your way. Go the Dragons. That's all from me, man.